So this past weekend, I had my second ever wood carving getaway, and that entailed 4 people staying here for 3 days, carving over the span of a day, a half day rather, on Friday, a full day on Saturday, and a half day on Sunday. And they all brought their own projects. With a class of 4 people, you can really focus on each and every person's individual needs. And it's just a huge improvement in many ways from the larger class format, which is why it's a more expensive endeavor for these students. It's just a lot more interaction. It's a lot closer to a private lesson. So what's interesting is each of these people, I'll just say their names. There was Brad, who was a man from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We had, Mare. Mare was a lady who had never carved anything in her entire life. And we had her brother, Scott. So Mare is from Utah. Scott is from Michigan. Brad is from Pittsburgh. And we had finally Dan from Muskegon, Michigan. And each of these people had a very unique story, but we're all tied together by the fact of not having carved for more than a year. None of them had done any carving before the class, and or had done much more than maybe 2 or 3 faces before the class, I should say. But most of them had not done realistic portraiture. And what was really neat about that was, I've noticed this over the past, 13 years of teaching. The newer people are so much easier to teach, and they're so much more hungry and excited about carving. And that makes for a world's difference, a wonderful class when you have folks who are excited to learn, who are just open to absorbing whatever information you have. It just makes for a great environment. So Brad carved a Bigfoot, Mare carved a green man, Dan carved his grandson, which was by far the most gutsy, I think, of all of the projects, being that, carving a portrait, takes 3 or 4 times what any other type of carving in my book takes. And so it's a huge deal to undertake that in a class of this size with this timeline. He did a fantastic job. His was a more slow-paced carving, whereas everyone else came to see the results of their efforts a lot sooner. Just the nature of a portrait. So Dan did a great job. Brad did a fantastic job. He did a Bigfoot. He did Harry and the Hendersons Bigfoot, this big, long, hilarious, smiling Bigfoot, and just super well done. Really took his time, got the structures in place, helped him to get the depth set, and then once that he was there, he just took off and did a really fantastic job. Mare, again, it was her first carving ever, right? And she's just really excited about this class because her brother, having done his first carving ever right before the class, was a phenom. I mean, he followed along with some YouTube stuff that I had created and bought a tool set off of Amazon and created possibly the best beginner carving I have ever seen in my entire life. The best first time carving. And I have to post a picture of that here if you can see that. Isn't that amazing? So, yeah, I guess it was just a huge success in the sense that we all got to know each other. We all had fun. That's a huge thing for me in a wood carving getaway. I've taught a lot of classes in the past where folks are feeling stressed, and I feel the intensity of everyone getting the time that they need and trying to get all the information and apply that information. And it becomes more of an arduous thing than it does like a joy or an exciting adventure. And that's really one of the things I wanted to distinguish about the getaway is that when people come here, I want them to feel welcome. I want them to feel at home. I want them to feel relaxed, because a relaxed artist is a good artist. You can't create in an environment where you feel like anxious or just out of sorts. So it was really good to see that everyone here was just comfortable with each other, catching up, talking. It was fun listening to Mare and Scott. They're siblings, and so they haven't seen each other in a while. They caught up on their childhood and brought us up to date about what their lives were like. So that was cool. Anyway, that was it. It was a good time. I just thought I'd catch you up on it and let you know that there's a couple spots left in the July class. As of recording this, I don't expect it to be that way for long, but I will post the dates below, and or maybe just over the text below here on this video. But there are a few more dates for the remaining year, And if you're watching this later, I'm hoping that that this is a continued thing, and I appreciate the support, and I love the idea of maintaining a smaller workshop of this size. I do think I'll eventually do larger workshops when I have the space sorted out, but I hope to continue to do these smaller ones too, because there's such a unique benefit to the students to be able to get as much time as they get to know each other in the way that they do, and just to foster this like cool atmosphere. Yeah, it didn't feel as stressful, didn't feel as anxious as the first one for me. I think getting the first one under my feet helped, and it felt like at the end of it, I had energy left, which was neat for me. It's been kind of hard with teaching in that way, so this has been an awesome endeavor, and I appreciate all who made the 4 people who made it out. Appreciate you all, and just wonderful, hilarious characters that they were. So be well. Talk to you guys. Take your vitamins, and check out the wood carving getaway in the description below if you're interested. Bye.